Discussing about the labor code, and we are in part 3 dealing with the subject on occupational safety, health and working conditions. In part 1, just to have a quick recap, we did discuss about the framework of this code, how the 13 acts are compiled and brought into effect in a single code, and when this particular code will be given effective, we did discuss last week. Together with that, in the part 1 session, we did discuss about the framework of the code, the registration requirement, the duties of employer and employee, and then about the obligation of the employer with regard to an establishment about issuing notices of accidents, dangerous occurrences, and diseases. Then in part 2, we discussed about the overview of this code together with the occupational health and safety. Then we discussed about the health, safety and working conditions of the employees, how it has to be ensured. And finally, we did discuss about the welfare provisions in the code. Today, in part 3, we are going to see and continue the discussions on some of the key aspects which are very important and interesting as well. From the perspective of employees, to note the working hours, the maximum number of hours which they are required to work in an establishment, about the leave entitlement, what should be the eligibility for leave encashment. Then we are going to move on to discuss about the special provisions which are available to women workers. Thanks to Sundar for this detailed presentation. Hence, code we already know refers to Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code. The draft rules were framed on 19th November and they have invited public for their comments up to 3rd January 2021. So if you wish to provide any comment with regard to any of the amendments, you may feel free to do so, and it is very much available in the public domain. And hence this symbol indicates the provisions in the draft rules subject to modification and adaptations, friends. We are going to continue to have a quick recap on the brief overview which we discussed last week as well. There are in existence 100 state and 40 central laws covering various aspects of labor such as industrial dispute, working conditions, social security. This makes the life of not only the establishments or the employers to comply with, monitor the various compliances, but also the regulators to confirm if the companies are in compliance with various laws. In order to ease this particular process, this particular code is brought into existence where all these complex compliance procedures are consolidated and thus 29 central laws are replaced. And we have 4 codes now by consolidating various legislations in the central and state laws leading to labor reforms, code on wages, IRC, code on social security, and finally occupation, health, safety and working conditions. Friends, please note that these codes are yet to come into force. Today we are going to continue the discussions on this occupational safety, health and working conditions. Some of the key aspects of this code are: it is mandatory for issuing appointment letters to every employee, and there is the prescribed format which we have to wait and see, and also the timeline within which this appointment letter shall be issued. And it is the obligation of the employer to ensure the disposal of hazardous and toxic waste in an establishment, and it is mandatory to conduct free annual health checkup for all the employees to ensure their health conditions are well protected and to provide a safe working condition for the employees. Today we are going to see the working hours and the leave entitlement in relation to any establishment. No worker shall be required to work in an establishment for more than 8 hours in a day. This is the section requirement. The draft rule says that such workers shall not be required to work in an establishment for more than 48 hours in any week. So first it is 8 hours in a day and the rule says it is 48 subject to a maximum ceiling of 48 hours in a week. And period of work shall be so arranged that including the intervals for rest, it shall not be spread for more than 12 hours in a day. So considering all the breaks that you take, it shall not exceed 12 hours in a day. And the draft rule also sets out the guideline that workers shall not work for more than 5 hours before he had an interval for rest of at least half an hour. So the safety and the welfare condition of the employees are thus well protected by ensuring that they are not made or forced to work beyond the maximum number of work hours as prescribed in the code, and also they are provided the required intervals before they commence the next set of activity. And there is a specific provision available in the case of mine workers. Persons employed below the ground in a mine shall not be allowed to work for more than such hours as may be prescribed by central government in a day, and such work shall not be carried on below ground in any mine by system of shift so arranged, except by a system of shift. So there shall be a recurrence of shift in the workers who are deployed when it comes to engaging these workers in a ground in a mine. And no person who is employed in a mine shall be allowed to be present in any part of the mine below the ground during the period of work shown in respect of him in the register maintained by the employer under the code. So it shall be, so ideally it should be read this way. It shall be in alignment with the periods of work as set out in the register which is maintained, the statutory register maintained by the establishment, and it shall not be contrary to the number of hours which is as set out in the statutory register. And next set of guidelines is with regard to the motor transport workers. The hours of work in case of motor transport workers also considers the running time of the transport vehicle, and the section clearly explains the running time as working day means the time from the moment a transport vehicle starts functioning at the beginning of the working day until it ceases to function at the end of the working day. It also includes the interruption time of maximum 15 minutes. And next including factor is the time spent in subsidiary work. And here the subsidiary work, for the purpose of this section, they have explained very clearly that it is in connection with accounts, paying of cash, signing of registers or ticket checking. So all these are also considered for the purpose of the hours of work put in by a transport worker. And period of mere attendance at terminals of less than 15 minutes. So that shall also be considered for this purpose of reckoning the maximum working hours put in by a motor transport worker. Then comes the working journalist. Again, it is a culmination of both the section as well as the draft rules as prescribed. And here, the maximum number of hours of work shall not exceed 144 hours during any period of 4 consecutive weeks. This is in alignment with the erstwhile provisions as provided in the Act as well. And it shall also not exceed 24 consecutive hours of rest during any period of 7 consecutive days. And no working journalist shall ordinarily be required to work for longer than the number of hours constituting a normal working day. Here, the draft rule clearly specifies that it is 6 hours per day in case of day shift and 5.5 hours per day in the case of night shift, excluding the midtime. And no working journalist shall work for more than 4 hours in the case of day shift and 3 hours in the case of night shift before having an interval of rest of 1 hour for day shift and half an hour in the case of night shift. And working journalist again is defined under the code as a person whose principal avocation is that of journalism, and either he is employed whole time basis or part time basis in such establishment which is dealing with the digital media or electronic media such as newspaper or radio, any form of media where this particular communication involves this particular occupation of a journalist. And it includes an editor or a leader writer. Who is a leader writer, friends? Ideally, he is not a person who is collecting the information just like a sub editor or disseminating the information like a reporter. It is beyond these scope of activities, and where there is the absence of an editor, this leader writer plays the pivotal role of going through in depth the entire edition and giving his judgmental opinion or framing his particular views on the particular publication. And it does not include a person who is involved in managerial, supervisory or administrative activity. Next comes your weekly and compensatory holidays. No worker shall be allowed to work in an establishment for a period exceeding 6 days in 1 week. So that shall be the maximum working hours which shall be put in by the worker. Exception being motor transport workers, where including holiday he could be asked to work provided it does not exceed 10 days consecutively without a holiday for a whole day intervening this particular period, and this particular working hours, to avoid any ambiguity, shall be posted in a clear place outside the working establishment, and where the weekly day of rest is not the same day for all the people, and it is going to be on a rotation basis like a relay kind of, more particularly in the case of motor transport workers where it will be like on rotation basis, where this particular employment requires or demands the continuous service delivery by all these workers, then the notice shall also display the day of rest allowed to each relay or set of persons or individuals who are supposed to work on the respective days. Next comes your overtime wages, where in an establishment a worker works for more than 8 hours in any day or for more than 48 hours in a week, as the case may be, he shall be paid overtime at the rate of twice his ordinary rate. So the concept of twice the ordinary rate remains the same in the code and the old provisions as well. And in calculating overtime, again for fraction between 15 to 30 minutes, it shall be reckoned as 30 minutes, and anything exceeding 30 minutes shall be reckoned as 1 hour. However, this worker shall be barred from working overtime exceeding 125 hours in a quarter of every year. Next comes your leave entitlement. Worker is entitled for leave when he has contributed 180 days or more in a calendar year. Friends, here comes a difference. Previously, it was 240 days in your earlier labor provisions, and now it is 180 days. And he shall be entitled for 1 day leave for every 20 days of work. And in case of adolescent worker, for 15 days. And in the case of people who are engaged as mine workers, it shall be 1 day for every 15 days. Again, on par with your adolescent worker. And any period of layoff, maternity, or any other leave which is availed by such worker in a calendar year shall be counted for the purpose of reckoning this 180 days. But he shall not earn leave for the period so counted for this purpose. And again, any holiday falling between this particular leave avail shall be excluded. For example, if you are going to take a leave and intermittent holiday, say a national holiday is coming, that shall be excluded from the period so availed. Similarly, the prefixed or suffixed holidays shall also be excluded as enshrined in the code. And in case of workers who are discharged, dismissed from service, or who have quit employment, or retired on superannuation basis, or expired during service, then during the course of the calendar year, such worker or their legal heirs or nominees in the case of demise shall be certainly entitled to this leave wages as well, immediately before this particular discharge or dismissal or death, as the case may be. If the worker does not in one calendar year take the whole of the leave which is allowed to him, then he shall be certainly entitled to consider the same and reckon it during the succeeding calendar year as well. Total number of days of leave which could be carried forward shall not exceed 30 days. And such worker shall also be entitled on demand for encashment of leave. This is an additional benefit available for all the workers. So on demand, he can certainly claim this leave entitlement. And his worker, total number of leave carried forward to the succeeding years, where it exceeds 30 days, he could encash such exceeded leave as well. Next comes your maintenance of statutory registers and returns. There are prescribed forms, again as set out in the draft rule, subject to modification once it is notified. Every employer shall maintain the register relating to the wages, overtime, deduction for damages or loss as prescribed in Form 8 in E-Form, and it shall be certainly kept at the establishment within the boundaries of this particular establishment, and it shall be certainly legibly written in English and Hindi or in the language as understood by the employees in that particular establishment, and this shall be preserved in original for a period of 1 calendar year after the date of last report or entry. With regard to register for maintaining accidents and dangerous occurrences, it shall be in the form as prescribed in Form 10, and Form 11 prescribes the maintenance obligation for the owner, agent or manager of every establishment with regard to the leave entitlement, whether it could be in electronic form or in manual form. And every employer shall submit annually a return in Form 9 in duplicate to the inspector cum facilitator not later than 1st Feb following the end of that calendar year, and also marking a copy to Director General Labour Bureau in electronic pattern. Notice board display. Again, in a prominent place, this particular display shall occur, which shall indicate inter alia the notice showing the name and address of the establishment, the working hours, the wage period and payment of wages after 30th, when exactly the salary will be credited to the employee, and the occurrence of accidents and dangerous occurrences in the establishment for the last 5-year period, and name and address of the inspector cum facilitator of that particular establishment, and with regard to unpaid wages, the details thereto shall also be provided. And again here, this particular notice board shall be in English, Hindi and in a language which is understood by the employees. Special provision relating to employment of women. Section 43 and 44 read with the draft rules clearly provides additional empowerment to women in the new code. What are they? It provides key empowerment to women to work in all establishment and in all types of work. And also it provides additional right to the women workforce to work beyond 7 p.m. and up to 6 a.m. subject to the safety conditions well taken care by the establishment. And the conditions which shall certainly be adhered by the establishment also includes the consent to be obtained from all these female workforce, and they shall be employed in compliance with the provisions which takes care of the Code on Social Security, transportation facility to be provided for pick up and drop, and the sanitation and health facility of these women workforce shall be well taken care by the establishment, which also includes the drinking facilities which are available at the workplace, and the provisions of SWAP Act, your sexual harassment of women, which is applicable to all establishments, shall certainly be adhered thereto, and the establishments shall comply with the safe, secure and healthy working conditions, and these female workforce shall not be put to any disadvantageous position relating to their employment. And in case of mine working, not less than 3 women workforce shall be put on duty at any place. So additionally, these conditions shall be well taken care when the female workforce are employed beyond 7 p.m. and up to 6 a.m. And adequate safety of employment of women in dangerous operation is again set out in section 44, where appropriate government considers that the employment of women is dangerous, considering their health and safety in an establishment in any process which leads to hazardous or dangerous occurrences due to the operation or the business activity which is carried on by such establishments, then the government may prescribe and require the employer to provide such additional safeguards relating to these women workforce. Central government, by way of the draft rule, prescribes that by notification, such class of establishments and the standards, adequate standards with regard to the safety of these female workforce shall certainly be provided to take care of these workforce in the dangerous and hazardous situations. Some of the key changes in the code are: no worker shall be allowed to work in an establishment for more than 6 days in 1 week. Exception is provided for motor transport workers, where we saw that there could be the 10 days continuous working by these motor transport workers. So that particular exception is available in this particular code. And there were separate provisions available for adult workers and for workforce who are other than adult workers, but such split is not provided in the new code. And for empowering the women workforce, additional provisions are provided in 43-44, which leads to employing women in all establishments in all types of work, and female workers could be allowed to work with their consent for work which is beyond 7 until 6 a.m. However, additional safety measures and the conditions as prescribed in the section read with the rules shall be adhered to. And safety measures are also provided with regard to employment of women in dangerous operations. And leave eligibility stands reduced from 240 days to 180 days in the code, and worker is provided additional benefit for entitlement of leave and encashing it on demand, and also there is a specific timeline within which this particular leave encashment shall be credited in the case of discharge, dismissal or the death of this particular employee, which shall be credited to the employee or his legal heir or nominee as the case may be. Friends, with this we are concluding part 3 of this Occupational Health, Safety and Working Conditions Code. Thank you very much. We'll be continuing with Labor Code in our next webinar session as well. Take care, stay safe.